Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Picture an off-season move so significant that it barely registers in highlight reels, avoids headline buzz, and doesn't generate instant excitement, yet quietly redefines a franchise's long-term competitive outlook. These are the decisions that distinguish merely good teams from truly sharp, forward-thinking organizations. This isn't about impulse or emotion, it's deliberate strategy, executive-level chess. What's going on, Jays Nation? You're tuned in to Jays Nation News, and today we're exploring a scenario that appears counterintuitive at first glance, but could ultimately unlock something far bigger for Toronto. A Newsweek report published on December 22, 2025, suggested the Blue Jays should seriously consider a trade with the Los Angeles Angels that would send all-star starter Jose Barrios and outfielder Joey Loperfido to Anaheim in exchange for 22-year-old reliever Ryan Johnson. This idea doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's rooted in the specific direction Toronto has taken throughout this offseason. By acquiring Dylan Cease, the Blue Jays made one thing clear: they are not standing still. That move sent a strong signal to the league that this front office is prepared to push aggressively to win now. However, that same aggression creates a new challenge: how to manage payroll so today's ambition doesn't restrict tomorrow's options. As a result, the front office begins treating payroll like a flexible structure rather than a fixed limitation. Within that framework, speculation grows around Toronto's potential pursuit of premium talents such as Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, or Cody Bellinger. These aren't just roster upgrades, they're financial commitments that demand real spending room. Elite aspirations require financial breathing space, and that space becomes the centerpiece of this discussion. That's where Jose Barrios enters the picture, not as a liability, but as a calculated asset. The issue isn't performance collapse, it's overlap. Barrios still has up to 3 years remaining on his deal, with roughly $67 million left to be paid. While his 2025 season didn't represent his peak, reducing his value to one down year misses the larger context. Over the 2 seasons prior, he ranked 18th in ERA among qualified starters across Major League Baseball, clearly placing him above league average. Arms like that aren't easily replaced. The real question is fit. With Cease at the top and other established starters already in place, Barrios shifts from foundational necessity to a piece that may be considered excess within the current rotation hierarchy. When that happens, value becomes less about innings and more about flexibility. Toronto has already demonstrated a willingness to move on when the organizational picture changes, as seen with Yariel Rodriguez, who contributed meaningfully before the team pivoted in a different direction. The proposal gains further logic once Joey Loperfido is included. He isn't framed as the headline return, but rather the incentive that makes the deal feasible. His presence helps justify the Angels absorbing the entirety of Barrios' contract, something unlikely to happen otherwise. From the Los Angeles standpoint, the move carries both symbolism and practicality. Their rotation already features Alek Manoah, Yusei Kikuchi, and Jordan Romano, players with recent Toronto connections. Adding Barrios would continue their push for immediate relevance, accepting financial risk in exchange for dependable pitching stability. For the Angels, paying for certainty makes sense. For the Blue Jays, shedding that cost only works if it's part of a larger plan. That's why Toronto's true motivation here isn't just about cutting salary. At its core, this is a play rooted in asymmetric risk. Trading a significant contract and a promising outfielder for Ryan Johnson represents a short-term sacrifice for a long-term structural gain. A 22-year-old reliever under team control isn't just a gamble, he's a foundational piece. Players like this allow bullpens to be built sustainably, reducing reliance on expensive free agent markets. That's roster architecture at its purest. Stars at the top, supported by a young, efficient, and cost-controlled foundation. This is how elite organizations operate. They make unpopular choices, prioritize long-term leverage over short-term comfort, and continuously reshape assets to raise their competitive ceiling. Still, the counter-argument matters. This type of move only works if what follows is executed perfectly. If Toronto clears payroll and fails to convert it into two true impact players, the decision shifts from visionary to reckless. There's also the volatility of relying on a young reliever and the very real possibility that Berríos thrives elsewhere, reigniting criticism. Ultimately, this potential trade isn't about winning the transaction today. It's about opening a pathway. It's about proving the Blue Jays are willing to make disciplined, calculated decisions to remain among the league's elite. So, the question for Jays Nation is straightforward. Would you give up the reliability of Jose Berríos now for a legitimate shot at landing two superstars later? Or is that risk too steep for a team already committed to winning immediately? Let me know your thoughts.